This is Skyler Saunders seeing what's current. Well. It's early in the morning, 11 o'clock Eastern time. I just, it's a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind. They got the first candidate for vice president, one of the second highest office in the land, goes to a Marine, not an ex-Marine, not a former Marine, but a Marine. Hate when they say that. He's a former Marine. He's an ex-Marine. Ex-Marines are people like people that assassinate the president. That's it. I can't think of his name. It just escaped me right there. Oh my god. This is not helping. This is not helping. I'm floundering right now. I'm going to get to it. Lee Harvey Oswald. He was a Marine until the fact that he shot and killed the president. President Kennedy. He was a Marine. He became an ex-Marine after he killed, assassinated JFK. So that's an ex-Marine. That's a former Marine. I'm a Marine, so I've not done anything immoral or anything to embarrass my family or anything like that. I'm just, trying to get this money from the government. That's all I'm doing. That's basically what I'm doing. I deserve it for having a mental illness, having bipolar disorder. But it's not about me. It's about this guy, James David Vance. JD Vance has been tapped to be the vice president on the Trump ticket. And it just seems very, calculated, very strategic. He's going to go for the white working class vote, the conservative or right wing. I don't like to say conservative or liberal because those are two titles that are too good for either one of them, liberals or conservatives. So I'll just say right wing. Right-wing working class Americans in the Rust Belt, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, stuff like that, places like that, where he calls himself a hillbilly elegy. He's a hick, he's a redneck, he's a white trash, whatever you want to call him. But he came from nothing and made something of himself. I have to give him his credit. I have to give him that much credit. He could have just, stagnated. He could have become, just run-of-the-mill, regular person, being on the low-grade side. But he said, you know what? I'm going to clean myself up. This is the beauty of the United States Marine Corps. They downplay it. I don't see it as much. But if he didn't join the Marines, he may have been a totally different person. The Marines break you down. You're a filthy, disgusting, nasty, terrible, horrible human being as a civilian, and we have to tear that down. We have to strip that from you and flamethrow you. Put a flamethrower on you for these 13 weeks, and then you come out. You either came out stronger, or you came out weaker, but you came out a Marine. Mostly people came out stronger. But he advanced. He went to Yale University. Yale College for law. He became a lawyer. He became let me see if I'm correct. He became a venture capitalist, I think it was. Let me see. So here's it. Vance is the first former venture capitalist on a major party ticket since Mitt Romney, who lost the presidential race to Barack Obama in 2012. Vance's footprint in the VC space, however, is not extensive and mostly tied to his association with his biggest backer, Peter Thiel. So there's that. I have 0 people watching right now. This is the struggle. This is just an experiment. I wanted to see if people were up at this time, if people were on their break at this time. I don't know. But I gained 2 followers yesterday, so I'm feeling myself. Gotta dust myself off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so he blew. He came from nothing. He came from the bottom, and now he's here. You know, he has a classic story. It's like from, you know, Negroes, colored people, you know, coming from the streets, coming from the hood, and they can transform themselves through the entertainment industry or the sports or anything like that, or maybe through business and finance or, you know, medical or law. They transform into these, you know, powerful people, these people with positions of power, and you got to respect that. I respect that about JD Vance. I reject nearly all, if not all, of his positions on politics, especially in namely abortion. I don't think that he has, you know, the right idea about what should be about abortion. He's talking about, you know, up to 15 weeks, and he doesn't care about. Did I read? I could be misread, but he didn't really have a concern for incest or rape, just to have the baby. So. But again, I don't understand why that's even a political issue. That should not even be an issue on the docket, on political tongues. Should not even be discussed. It's about the woman's life. It's about pro-life. I always call it pro-life. A lot of people say it's pro-choice. No, I say it's pro-life. It's pro the woman's life. It's pro even the unborn fetus's life. What would it be like if they were to be, you know, to know that they were the product of a rape or incest, and depending on, you know, the level of incest, you know, that would be horrendous. That'd be horrific. But that's what, you know, JD Vance is all about. I'm about to start calling him James David Vance. But yeah. So he is, you know, I don't want to call him a plant, but he's strategically placed. He's not Pence. He was throwing shade at Trump 8 years ago, saying he's America's Hitler, saying all these kinds of things against him on Twitter. Oh, those tweets were deleted. But it's kind of like, you know, going number 2 in the bathroom, and then, you know, you spray it, but you can still smell a little bit of. You flush and then you smell, you know, you spray, but you still smell some remnants of what you just did. So that's kind of like what happens. Okay, we got the Blue Baron. Hi, salute to you. We're doing, it's a fundraiser Tuesday. $20 and up, $5 for questions. If you want to ask me a question, you want me to answer it, it's $5. So get your checkbook ready. I appreciate you for coming into the room. How did you find me, by the way, the Blue Baron? Was it just random? How did you find me? Anyway, I want to say John. I was going to say John. It's not John. James David Vance. He just will represent that core, you know, voting block of supporters that got President Trump into the White House in 2016, and were voting for him, and had, you know, their eyes set on him having a second consecutive term in 2020. But it didn't work out, obviously, and we had J6, and we had, you know, all these different things that precipitated afterwards. So I think that's, you know, very political. It's all, he is a politician. The way he answers questions, the way he holds himself, he is a classic politician. Like he knows exactly how to say things to not, you know, stir up trouble on in interviews and during certain spots and stuff like that. But not with the, you know, the tweets, not the X's or whatever the hell you call them now. I don't. Back then there were tweets. But he sent those out into the world, and those are forever going to be there, no matter how. It's like in The Social Network. She said, Rooney Mara's character said, the internet isn't written in pencil, Mark. It's written in ink. I was like, that's deep. That's true. Because once you say it on the internet, it's there forever and ever. Somewhere on somebody's hard drive, on somebody's, you know, disks, on somebody's software, on drives. It's somewhere out there. So that's the internet. But he definitely did. But he had a movie made about his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, starring Glenn Close. It bombed horrifically. I think the budget was like $45 million. It only took in like 38,000 something. Not too pretty, you know. But it was featured on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix. But I think it was in the theater as well. But in the theater, it was just because it's poverty porn. I can only imagine. I saw a few clips of it. I never seen the full movie, but I already know the difference when I can sense what poverty porn is. And the only thing I like about it is the fact that he got out of that and made a good chunk of change as a VC, as a venture capitalist. That's extraordinary. That should be lauded. He went into the private sector and made something of himself. Before that, he, like I said, United States Marine. You know, he learned a lot of virtues and values in the military idealism and the Marine Corps ethos. And that really propelled him, I think, to go into the realm of politics. That really, you know, solidified his point as a true person to lead. You know, I think he spent time in Iraq. He was, you know, I don't know if he had any bodies on him. He never talks about if he had any bodies on him. If he dropped, you know, anybody. Dropped 2 to kill 3. You know, 2 popping, 3 dropping because he wanted to save bullet rounds. All right, got 5 people in here. Where my likes at? Need likes. Got 5 people in here. Need the likes. Feel free to go into the live chat. I'm talking about James David Vance, otherwise known as James David Bowman, but he chose the name Vance. He's got a beautiful wife, wonderful, you know, family. He's got, I think, 2 or 3 kids. She's from India. That should be interesting for people. They're gonna be like, oh well, you know. At least she's not black, you know. If she was black, that would have been an issue, I'm sure. I'm sure. She's got some color to her. She's not white. But you know what I mean? She's all right. I'll take her. We'll take her. Let's go. We're going to win this. We're going to win this. Like, that's their mindset. That's their mentality of some individuals, you know. But he doesn't seem like he is... complete racist. He doesn't seem like he's out there. He doesn't seem like he's left wing or right wing. I don't want to say extremist. Extremist is a good term. I'm an extremist. I'm extremist for reason, and a radical for capitalism. That's what I am. So I have to get that out there right now. That's the power of his station. That's the power of his ability to transmit. He said that he found President Obama an admirable man back in 2017, something like that, and that he said, was President Obama a good president? No. Is he a good man, family man, and, you know, wife, a husband, and father? Yes, of course. But he wouldn't answer the question to get on. Is he still an admirable man? No, look, see, he just rambled on, didn't, you know, just skirted the question, go around the question, not really, you know, answer it. That's the sadness. That's what's sad. You know, so we have to look at James David Vance, Vice Presidential nominee Vance. As a Marine, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? All jokes now on deck, not aside. I want to see if he's going to be drawing, if he's going to be drawing, you know, pricks on porter shitters. Yeah, okay, I like what Robert Nacer is saying. Robert is saying, as for Mrs. Vance, the gal got from India who should have been the Republican nominee was Nikki Haley. True, but I'd vote for Usha. I'm going to chop up her name, but I'm going to try my best. Chilakuri, I hope I said that right, Vance over either DJ Donald James Trump or JD Vance. Yes, absolutely, Robert. Absolutely. It's a fundraiser Tuesday, so if you feel inclined, drop like $10. I appreciate it. If not, just enjoy the show. That's cool too. But we got a fundraiser Tuesday. $10, $10 a pop for fundraiser. My PayPal, paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. So I appreciate your coming in the room, Robert. Thank you very much, sir. You're very welcome to come in here anytime. All right, so yeah, so JD Vance is definitely a right wing, totally, out of it in some senses, just completely bonkers. But I do respect the fact that he came from nothing and brought himself into something. He is a self-made man, not in the sense of his soul. He has kind of a battered soul, but he's a self-made man, at least in the sense of wealth and in the sense of making money. He actually had the opportunity to turn his life around, become a lawyer, become of Yale, become an Ivy League alumnus. So that's pretty extraordinary, and that should be lauded. But I think that's where it stops. I think it stops where he comes to abortion, comes to he wants. I do agree with him to this extent. I do agree with him on this piece of political action, shutting down gender transformation surgeries or treatments for young people, for minors, for children. I'm in agreement with that. I don't think minors or children should be in the position to do it. Once they get to 18, hey, yeah, if you want to be a man and you're a woman, fine, go ahead, do your thing. If you want to be a woman, you want to be a man, go ahead, do your thing. But if you're a child, you're not a man or a woman. You're still a child. You're still in a prepubescent phase. You're not yet grown up. You're not yet a full-fledged adult yet. So I do agree with him on that. Just that level. Just one of the few levels I can name. But it's not even about his politics. Nobody even cares about politics. It's just his positioning. It's his positioning as poor white trash that made good of himself. That's a classic story that is in hip hop. Hip hop stories are full of that. I came from the gutter. I came from nothing. I came from being in drugs and gangs and stuff like that. Now I'm a multi-millionaire living the sweetest life in America. Like, same thing. It's the same thing. He has one house, and then he has a $1.5 million home somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where, but I just remember the figure. It was like $1.5 million. And that is extraordinary. He came from nothing. And I don't think, and even if he had, but I don't think he had, uncles or cousins or anything like that to help him, go into school or anything. I think he didn't say, from what I understood and what I looked at, what I researched, it didn't say that he used his GI Bill, which I think he did. I think he did use his GI Bill to go to Yale. It's very short. It doesn't, the sources that I saw, talking about his Marine Corps career, didn't go into detail about, what ribbons he was awarded, what, his time served, how much, what rank he came out on. I didn't see that anywhere on any post. So if anybody in the room knows, you can go on and Google it. Marine rank. Okay, here it goes. He was a 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing, so he's a winger like I was. He was ranked at corporal. He served 4 years. That's it. That's the information. He graduated Yale Law School in 2013. He's only 39. He'll be 40 next year, so, we'll see just what happens with all of that. He opposes same-sex marriage, though he has said he does not want to reopen the debate. He's in favor of banning pornography. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, as long as you're 18 years old. Consider a maverick Republican. And for the minimum wage, unionization, tariffs, and antitrust policy, and has opposed continued American military aid to Ukraine. So he's completely, out of it in that sense. He does have decorations for the Marines. Now I see in the research. I do a little bit of research. I was trying to avoid too much Wikipedia, but I'm getting this from Wikipedia. He first developed a sense of purpose in the Marine Corps and had a defining chapter of his life. He was assigned the public affairs section of the 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing. I was in Yuma, Arizona as, I don't even remember. It was the Flying Nightmares. That's what I remember. VMA 513. That's what I remember. That was 15 years ago, though. But, yeah, so he served in the Corps. He had a good Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal and a Marine Corps Achievement Medal. He graduated summa cum laude from Ohio State University in 2009 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science and Philosophy. While at Ohio State, he worked for Republican State Senator Bob Schuler. After graduating from Ohio State, Vance attended Yale Law School. During his first year, Professor Amy Chua, author of the 2011 Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother, persuaded him to write his memoir. He was an editor of the Yale Law Journal and graduated in 2013 with a Juris Doctor degree. So he is technically a doctor. They don't really, when they have Juris Doctor degrees or sometimes educational degrees, they don't really go into saying that, call me doctor, They don't really do that. But he has a doctorate degree. And I think he may have the ability to explain what a venture capitalist is and what, his role is, unlike Mitt Romney, who had no clue. He couldn't explain what his position as a venture capitalist was. And that really hurt him, I think. That probably hurt him the most. So I think that's the main thing. I'm just looking up some more information. So corporate raiders, things of that nature. People that make, money from making other companies, struggling companies, more valuable, struggling companies more powerful, getting them in a position where they can have more people. They have to cut off, they have to lay off people. They have to switch around different boards sometimes. They have to do that. And Mitt Romney couldn't explain that. I think if you ask James David Vance whether he was essentially a venture capitalist, he may phrase it politically, but I think he'd be able to explain himself better than what Mitt Romney did. So, I mean, we have to be very careful with this with Vance, because he's wishy-washy. He's like I don't know what kind of liquor or what kind of elixir that Trump gives these people, Rubio and Tim Scott and even Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is great. She's wonderful, but she's going to speak, happily and graciously about Trump. She's not going to bash him at his own rally. Well, not rally, convention, I should say. At the Republican National Convention, she's slated to speak. Along with Amber Rose. She spoke yesterday. So that's what's so interesting. Amber Rose actually spoke at the Republican National Convention. See what you missed out on, Mr. Ye? The artist formerly known as Kanye West. Your own homegirl, your own smashing session. She's on Republican National Committee, well, not committee, conference, and she spoke her words. She did her thing. But JD Vance, I mean, it's just like, trying to be objective here. Got to be objective. Always got to be objective. Like I said, I agree with 99.9% of his rhetoric and his policies, his politics. They're just not for me. But it doesn't matter, because I'm not in that voting block. I'm not in that voting area. That was very strategic. They said, 2016, they picked Pence because he was cool. Not cool, like he's a cool person, but he was cool-minded. He was cool in his head. He wasn't like a hothead. He balanced out Trump. He balanced him out in that way. He was conservative, quote unquote. I don't like to use conservative. He was very right-wing, He knew how to keep the temperature cool. He was like a traditional politician. He very, okay. 11 o'clock may be my new time schedule. We got 13 people. It's a party in here now. It's a party. 13 people already. But 2 likes? Come on. We can do better than that. Come on. Get those likes up. Get those likes up. Likes up. Ooh. And then this race, JD Vance is kind of like he's for that Rust Belt. He's for the white trash. He's for the white, the white voters. He's not for niggers. He's not for niggers. He's definitely for the white trash vote. He's definitely for the, people within, eating syrup sandwiches and and their bare feet hanging off the roof. That kind. He's voting for them and their parents. They go to the coal mine. If there still is a coal mine, are there still coal miners? Do we have technology now that does that? Are there still coal miners getting black lung and stuff like that? That's the vote he's getting. The people that work at the Walmart and the big lots and stuff like that. That's what he's for. He doesn't have to do, just like a vice president in your mom. When you think about vice president, what the hell? The first question is, what does a vice president do? I mean, they have initiatives, they have missions, they have different, political engagements that they interact with. But for the most part, they're not the president. They're only there just in case. Just in case. And that's what JD Vance is supposed to do. James David Vance is supposed to just play his position, essentially. He doesn't have to do much, just like Pence. But he was for a different role. He was the ultra evangelical. He's super faithful. I mean, JD Vance, I think, might be faith. He's Catholic. He's devout Catholic. They have he has an interfaith marriage with his wife, also interracial marriage with his wife. I'm not gonna say her last name. I'm gonna say her first name, Usha. he has that going for him. So that's something that could be a selling point for him on that level. All right, first half of the show going. Let me do my advertisements. My main man, Pang, he has the sea moss infused fruit. I know the blueberry is banging. I don't know about the other flavors. There's other flavors like mango. But if you want to check them out, go to LIFESTRONGAPPAREL.com, LIFESTRONGAPPAREL.com. So make sure you check him out and tell him that the goofy guy Skyler Saunders sent you. Also, go to BEEJACKSON 5478. B Jackson on YouTube.com. He has sardines on the grill, fried chicken, and near beer that he has great commentary on. So definitely check him out. Tell him that the goofy guy Skyler Saunders sent you. Also, if you like Najee, Rolls Royce, the Gap Band, Earth, Wind & Fire, Whitney Houston, Peebo Bryson, all these different names and titles, you will enjoy SPIRITSMOOTHTUNES, Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. He has a whole catalog of different songs that you're going to enjoy. So definitely check him out. Make sure you tell him that the goofy guy Skyler Saunders sent you. Also, if you want to advertise or sponsor for this show, go to SKYLERSAUNDERS@gmail.com. And on top of that, if you want to be in the 100 Club, go to my Cash App, which is $SKYLERSAUNDERS1, just the number 1, and my Venmo at SKYLERIZED, and my PayPal, once again, paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. All right, got that all out of the way. I have Robert in here. I have the Blue Baron. The only people I got 7 people in the view, not in the live chat. Y'all are shy. That's fine. Hit that like button if you can. I got some good views off. It went up to 10, went up to 13. Not mad. So let's continue with this. Would you divorce your wife or husband if they had different politics than you? Would you say, you know what, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm a right winger. Well, most people say I'm a conservative. I'm a liberal, and we started out both conservatives. We started out both liberals. Or we started out both right wing. We started out both left wing. Now we're at an impasse. I changed my mind. I want to be I'm for Trump. I'm all for Trump. Trump. I voted for Obama back in 08 and 12, but for 24, I'm voting for Trump all day. I didn't even vote for him in 16 or 20, but I'm all day voting I'm on the Trump train. Woo woo! And your wife is like, your spouse is looking at you like, who are you? Like, are you going to say, it's either me or Trump? Or what are you going to say? Or the other one, I'm all for Biden. I'm on the Biden, Amtrak. He always took the Amtrak into Washington, D.C. from Delaware. So you're on the Biden Amtrak Express. So what does that get you? Where does that land you? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as more of a better way of guiding your life, depending on your politics and your spouse? What do you do? What do you have? What is that friction? Do you have that happy balance, that happy medium where you can say, I love her to death, but she's a Trumpster. She's all for Trump, but I love her. We don't let politics get between our romance. That's all right. Because friends are obviously, I'm not going to name. There's certain people in the objectivist movement. One person's voting for Trump. One person's voting for anyone against Trump. Happens to be Biden this time, sadly, in certain circumstances. But, I mean, that's friendship. But The rational idea is that's politics. That's a wholly different thing. We're not talking about ethics. We're not talking about epistemology. We're not even talking about metaphysics. We're talking about politics. It's like the lower rung of the ladder of philosophy, or the high. I don't know. Is the higher rung or the lower rung? I don't know. You know, you step because you have to start with metaphysics. Then you go to epistemology. Then you go to ethics. Then you go to politics. Then you go to aesthetics. So there's that. I think that with this pick of JD Vance, I mean that may even alienate some people within the Republican Party. You know, some rightists, some people on the right, they're gonna say like, I didn't want JD Vance. I didn't want him. I wanted, you know, Tim Scott. I wanted Marco Rubio. I wanted so many others. There's a whole list of other people that could have been tapped. But you have to continue. Okay, Robert Nazer says politics only matters if it affects other things which do matter. I'm neither a conservative or a liberal, but as long as you can be either and a decent, fun, value-oriented person, it's all good. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. That's why I said, like, you know, I'll give you the example. You know, my wife, she's a Trumpster, whatever. That's fine. She can be a Trumpster. I'm all for Biden. I'm on the Biden Amtrak Express. Let me see. It's not about whether you support Biden or Trump. It's about why. Exactly. Robert is spitting facts right now because this is the truth. This is true. He usually puts truth in, you know, great capitalized letters. This is truth because it's not about their person necessarily. It's about what they're doing and why, what their policies are and why they hold those policies, why they hold those different ideas. Like Biden's a Catholic. But he's for I'm going to say it, pro-choice, because that's what everybody says, but he's for pro-life. That's what I mean. When I say pro-life, I mean pro the woman's life, pro the unborn fetus's life, possibly, and what could happen to the fetus once it's individuated from the mother. That's the lives that I'm talking about. Pro-life. That was a terrible, you know, distinction that people made, whoever it was. I can do this, the quick research on it, but that was a terrible distinction that people said. I'm gonna put it out right now. Look for it right now. It pretty much began. Oh, it's not showing. It's not showing. I was gonna look for it, but it's not really. It says, well, really, since the 70s. Since the 70s, as I can see, just doing this little bit of research, it was in the 70s when they started saying, you know, pro-life and pro-choice, which is completely wrong, I think, because it's a pro-life and a pro-choice. It's like the choice for the mother, of course, obviously, that's what they say, you know, for her to say it, but it's pro-life. It's her life. It's her mind. That's what I hate. It's like it's not even about women's bodies. It's about women's minds. It's about their thought processes. That's what it's about. That's what it's all really concerned with. That's what it really, you know, comes down to, is the life. All right, I got 20 people in here, 5 likes. Now it's down to 17. I'm looking for dollar signs now. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Let me put this in. Let me try to see what I can do here. I'm looking for it right now. Hold on, just give me a minute. Okay, so I put in my PayPal information. Got to readjust. Pardon me while I have some technical difficulties here. Pardon me. Still trying to figure it out. Hold on. Give me a moment, folks. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Okay. There we go. So that's where we are. Okay, so what we're saying, Robert was saying how it's not whether you support Biden or Trump. It's about why. It's the reasoning. It's the reasoning. It's the thought process. Because they're both. I always say it like this. I don't remember who said it. I think it was Dr. Brooke who said it. Dr. Brooke said, I think I'm giving him the credit. Hold on. Robert says 5 minutes with Robert Nacer, my Sunday night conversational show, simulcast on my YouTube channel and Facebook Live. Sends a bit of love your way via PayPal. Keep speaking the truth. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rick James. Oh, man, here he goes. I'm glad he chimed in. Ladies and gentlemen, he's black and he's back. As he swims into the looking glass to explore the great unknown, I present the man behind the bestseller, ruler of the air. Really not a bestseller, but it's ruler of the kingdom of the air. Skyler Saunders. He's got my name right, so I'll give him that. Everybody applaud Rick James. You see, we're having a party, right? You see what the views are like. Thank you. Thank you again, Robert. Sincerely. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you. But like I was saying, I think it was Dr. Brooke. He said Trump is a dumpster fire. He's like just disgusting. Just like the smells coming out of it, the fire burning, all these different chemicals and different substances. And Biden is like, if you were inside the dumpster for Trump, if you would be consumed by the fire, very quickly. But Biden is kind of like being frozen to death. That's how awful he is. So they're both terrible. It's just a horrible thing. I think South Park said something like a douchebag and a shit sandwich. It's like who do you vote for? This was back in 2004 with George W. Bush and John Kerry. It was like 20 years ago. That's how old my dumb ass is. I'm talking about something from 20 years ago. But Rick James says, we got a party, but we've got some shy people in the room. Yeah, a lot of shy people. A lot of people aren't really, saying a lot in the live chat, but that's all right. I got substantive responses from Mr. Robert Nacer. And you, sir, Mr. Rick James, I appreciate you for chiming in. So thank you very much. But yeah, so this could be my new time. I think I figured it out. I'm not doing shows in the late afternoon or nights. People be fronting. I got something to do. Some people must be on their break now, or headed into work, and they got the station on, the YouTube on in the car or something like that. I don't know, but it went up to 20. I don't think I've ever had 20 as the most viewers at one time. So I appreciate it. Yeah, we got a party. Definitely got a party. Appreciate everybody in here. So, like I said, would you say, honey, things are just, I don't, I mean, you're a Biden supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. I can't go for Biden. He's awful. He's terrible. He's hardly even breathing. He's hardly alive. He's hardly, and it's not age, it's competence, it's ability. Mel Brooks, he's 98 years old and he's still working. He wants to do a sequel to Spaceballs. Like, are you serious? That's what's so, amazing to me. When people say, oh, we should have an age test. We should age, see what's going on with their age. Trump seems very vigorous and very, full of vim and spirit, despite him being 78 years old, 79, I think 78. Let me see. I'm just going to make sure. Trump age. Yeah, he's 78. So it's not about age. It's about whether you're able to confront the issues, if you're able to complete a sentence, if you're able to say things that make sense. That's what it's all about. Trump has lost the path. Yeah, he never really had the path, if you ask me. He looked like a fool last night when he patched over his ear. Well, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna call him a fool because he had a patch over his ear. Vote Trump for president 2024. Well, Paul Clark, if you know something about me, I just said I can't vote for Trump and I can't vote for Biden. Can't vote for either one of them. I'm going to write in my vote. Oh, Robert's back. Good to go. If there were puppet masters behind the scenes, do you think things would be anything like what's happening over the last 8 years? Is that a rhetorical question? I might take that as a rhetorical question because I would say there's definitely there's puppet masters with JD Vance. He's definitely he was just disrespecting Trump 8 years ago. I mean that seems like an eternity now, but not politically that's an eternity. But just in real life, he was disrespecting and totally disparaging former President Trump. But yeah, I do think that's the question you're asking. Do I think things would be anything like what's happening over the last 8 years? I would say yes. I'm not a politician, so I'm not gonna. I did a little bit of political stuff right there, but I would say yes. I would say yes. Because they did that. I mean, they're not even shy about it with JD Vance. They're not even shy. They're just saying, they're like, yeah, Hillbilly Elegy. He came from nothing. He went to the United States Marine Corps. That was a pivotal moment in his life. He went to Ohio State, then Yale University, Yale School of Law. And that's pretty profound. That's pretty extraordinary for him to do that. So I have to give him that much credit, even though I discredit everything basically he says. Same thing with Biden, same thing with Trump. I discredit all that they say. Just so you know, the reasons my answer is obviously not. Well, I misinterpreted your serious. I was saying if there are puppet masters in the sense of different organizations that do it. But I see what you're saying, Robert. I know what you mean. Oh, you getting deleted? Yeah, but the puppet masters, yeah. They pull the strings. They're pulling the strings. I mean, I'm not going to say this as a conspiracism because I'm just saying that there's just they're literally political strategists that say this is going to be the best pick because he's going to say the right thing. He's going to say this thing right now. He's going to say this at this point. Hey Bella, how are you? I know it's a little earlier in the day. Let me see what time it is. It's almost 6 o'clock where you are. Almost 6 o'clock. Isn't Puppet Masters the horror movie with the puppets? I think so, Rick James. Yes. To be honest with you, yes. That's the supposed puppets. Then the supposed puppet. Yeah. Okay, Robert is saying, but the puppet masters, then the supposed puppets. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I would say, obviously not on that level. I was saying, yes, that there are puppet masters, quote unquote puppet masters, because they would have, there was, like I'm saying, like, there's the reasoning. Like, he didn't get Tim Scott. Do I say, is it Tim Scott? Let me make sure. Yeah, Tim Scott, because he's black. He loves him. He's all over him. He lathers him with praise. But he knew that if he had picked Tim Scott, it wouldn't have been for the best, situation. So he said, what does this guy, JD Vance, what does he represent? He represents, all these different things. Strategy, sure. And mostly above board. Yeah. I agree with that, Robert. I do agree with that. Strategy, sure. Yeah. But, maybe not puppet masters. I wouldn't say puppet masters for me. Like you said, you said obviously not. That's what I'm saying. It's probably not. But there are political strategists, yes. Strategists, sure, yes. I agree. But he couldn't tap Tim Scott. He's a Negro. He's a colored man. So he wouldn't have been too much of a good pick. Right now it's a battle in what is going on with the economy. Even though America has purported to be the greatest economy in the world, which is not that great. It's like if everybody else had D pluses and D minuses and maybe Fs. But, America's got like a C minus to a C plus. Something like that. It's not very good or excellent. It's just pretty much coasting along. And inflation is still an issue. I, on the other hand, don't have a problem with inflation. Inflation is pretty good for me because it goes by COLA, cost of living adjustment. And I have Social Security and benefits from the military. Tax-free. Only tax I have is Medicare. Just what it is. Okay, giving up on the chat for now. All right. Half what I'm writing isn't coming through. The other half isn't quite making the point. Everyone have a great Tuesday and don't let the turkeys get you down. Salute. Salute to Robert Nacer. I appreciate your dollar. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming into here. I will make this my new time. See, just to experiment. This is a good experiment. This is a very good experiment. So salute to you, Mr. Robert Nacer. Salute. Now I got still Mr. Rick James. Salute to him. Doesn't seem like too many people were in the room. Let me switch this up. I'm looking it up right now. Bang. So just so you know, that's the Cash App. If you donate as much as 100, you got to donate at least $99,000. But I'm looking for low, micro payments. $5 here, $10 there. Mr. Rick James says, "Sir, did you see the Jack Black is canceled?" Yeah, well, yeah. He said some stupid stuff on stage. Yeah, he said some crazy, stupid stuff. I don't know what I don't know what he said. Look at me. He said, "Yeah, he said some stupid stuff." What did he say? But let me see. He had an assassination joke. He's backing it up. He's saying Jack Black is saying he's, okay, he's back. He's back. Jack Black has said he's canceled the rest of the Tenacious D World Tour after his bandmate Kyle Gass sparked an outcry with a comment about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. So it wasn't even him. So, okay, but Jack Black is still canceling it. So salute to him. Because like I said, I pretty much hate Trump. I hate Biden. I hate both of them. Not equally, but almost. But nobody wants to see anybody killed or, struck down for ideas. He has terrible ideas. But that's what would be the reason. That's an assassination. It's because of somebody's policies. Gass was asked to make a wish after being presented with a cake for his 64th birthday. YouTube won't allow Gass's comment into the chat. Okay. Do you have a link? I know I can't click on the link, but if you have a link to it, maybe that'll work. Miss Robert. If you have a link, anything will help. Yeah, Gass is disappointed that, okay. Oh, okay. I'll say it. I see where it says now. Concert footage shows Tenacious D's Kyle Gass being presented with a birthday cake by his bandmate Jack Black on stage at the band's concert in Sydney, Australia. Gass is told to make a wish as he blows out the candles before appearing to say, "Don't miss Trump next time." The gig took place hours after a shooting at a Donald Trump rally in Pennsylvania left the former U.S. president injured. Okay. Salute to The Guardian. The Guardian usually has a lot of posts, and they want you to get that dollar. I'm trying to get that dollar to them, but, they let you read the whole article. Miss. Okay. I got you. I got you, Robert. I got you, sir. I got you. I understand what you're saying. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, wow, exactly. Wow. That's the kind of games we play. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. So you can't play like that. You can't joke around. However abhorrent and horrific as, Trump, purports to be and is shown to be, there's no room for it. There's no room for that. That's cheap and ugly and disgusting. If you want to go at somebody, go at them with ideas. tear them down with thought, tear them down, and then build them up with better ideas. You know, that's why I want to talk about JD Vance. He's a Marine. He had everything stripped down from him. You know, they tear you down to build you up. That's the best part of the Marine Corps, and I would say other branches of the military. But I can say from firsthand, and then other people's examples, that they tear down your civilian self, totally strip that away, indoctrinate you with different ideals. But for the most part, they're very, you know, some of them are, you know, very selfless, unselfish, self-sacrificial, other things like that. But for the most part, it's about improving yourself. So he had that taste of improving himself. And I still didn't see where he used the GI Bill. Let me see. GI Bill. Looking for right now. Yeah, he lived the American dream. They're saying, this is according to Reddit, so I don't know if it's true. JD Vance, oh, hold on, whoa, what's going on? JD Vance will be the first VP with the post 9/11 military service. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the bill, but he would be also the youngest VP, one of the youngest VPs. I think there was a younger VP in history. I'm not sure, but he'll be the first Marine VP if he's elected. There's never been a Marine president. Never. There's never been a Marine president. There's been Army, Navy, I think, and Air Force, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's been Coast Guard or Marine. And of course, not Space Force, too new. Vance talked about Trump, though. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. He called him America's Hitler. He said he could be America's Hitler. He said a lot of nasty stuff about him. But this is politics, ladies and germs. This is the dirtiest form of, you know, human interaction. Well, maybe not the dirtiest form, but one of the dirtiest forms. One of the most low-grade, you know, backstabbing, conniving, undercutting kind of ways. Look what Trump did to Mike Pence. They were running buddies. Then he totally, you know, cut him off because he was like, you know, I can't do this anymore. I can't lie anymore. I'm gonna be put in a position where I can say this. I can't run with you. And so everybody turned on him and said he should be hanged and all this nonsense. This is Robert talking to Rick James. True, Rick James, but so did Nikki, and now she's at the RNC endorsing him. People are surprisingly forgiving when it's pragmatic. Exactly. Pragmatism over morality will always lose. Let me say that again. Pragmatism over morality will always lose. It will always be, you know, error or undefined as the equation. It will never win. Morality will always win over. Morality will always win over pragmatism. You have to be moral, not pragmatic. Pragmatism is just like a hollow missile. Morality is a complete and full-fledged rocket that cuts straight to the core and destroys anything in its path. Pragmatism is like, well, it's, you know, basically, you know, in our favor if we could do this, and kind of say, you know, it's a whole lot of gobbledygook. Skyler is the man. Thank you for the Dancy. Salute to you, sir. Do you see the poll Cash App? Look at the Cash App. You spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. The man, the myth, the legend, joining live from an undisclosed location, spitting knowledge at you and providing the cold hard facts. Well, I do have a disclosed location. I'm from Newark, Delaware. It should be somewhere in the information when you first click on or you tap on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going for a little while. I'm gonna keep milking this. I'm gonna milk this. This is good. I got 14 people in here. I never had them. I have 1, 2, maybe up to 6, sometimes 7, maybe not 8 or 9, 10 sometimes. 13 was my highest. 20 was the highest today. So I'm very excited. This is a good start to my Tuesday. Thank you for the likes. Salute, Danchi. Thank you for the obligatory like. You're much obliged. So, JD Vance, he's an issue. Paul Rubens bought Brett 50. Maybe you should do more Paul Rubens shows. Well, I wanted to do more Paul Rubens shows, but I have to do more Shannon Doherty and Dr. Ruth and Richard Simmons shows. Smoke 3 loud packs to all 3 of them. You'll be on the floor. You'll be out the door, actually. you'll be no more good. So I can't do Paul Rubens shows. I can't, because there'll be too many other people I have to do. So you, Rick Jameson, starts your own channel, and I support you. You know, Danchi, I say Vance is an excellent pick. I disagree, and he is proof that Trump is accepting of people who disagree with him. He came around on Trump, and now he will be out our next VP. Hopefully not. I mean, what? All I can say is that he seems like a plant. He seems like he's just a tool. You know, he's just going to be used. You know, say, look, we have a young guy against this old guy. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old. But look at this. Look at this. My running mate. He's 39. He's a millennial. He'll be the first millennial vice president. He'll be the first Marine vice president. He'll be a lot of firsts. And if people give a damn about what a first is, who cares about first? We want to know what the best is. We want to know what the greatest is. Why do you dislike him? I dislike him because he's a career politician. I respect the fact that he transformed his life. He switched it around. He could have been like I said, sitting in a jalopy, eating syrup sandwiches and playing with cats and stuff like that. But he said, no, I'm going to change my whole demeanor, change my whole status. I respect that. He went to the Marine Corps. I respect that. However, and I respect when people say he is a Marine, not an ex-Marine or a former Marine. He is a Marine. Until he does something completely drastic and disgusting, he's an ex-Marine. He'll be an ex-Marine or former Marine. Like Lee Harvey Oswald. He's an ex-Marine. He was an ex-Marine. He was a former Marine. Because he did something very vicious. Oh, man, they're deleting your post. That's crazy. What policies of his do you agree with this? I explained it earlier. Abortion. I don't like his politics on abortion. Hold on, JD. I don't like his ideas on same-sex marriage. He believes that should be eradicated or completely taken away, but not put on as a debate. He said he's against it, but it shouldn't be as a political debate. It shouldn't be up for debate. Abortion. I agree with him on sexuality and gender roles. I think that children shouldn't have gender affirming care for at all. They shouldn't have any sex changes or anything like that until they're of age, until they're adult. If they're a minor, doesn't count. Shouldn't count. That's a fair point about being a career politician, but unfortunately, that's most of yeah, true. Trump is a wild card, and that's why I like him. But he's pretty much politicized too much as well. He was politicized before when he was a Democrat, way back. I'm going to the 36-year-old old man on the porch yelling at the kids, "Get off my lawn! Get off my lawn!" I remember when Trump was a Democrat. A lot of people don't remember that he was a Democrat at first. He became radical. He became Republicanized, if that's a word, very later in the stage of his life. Is he of the homosexual type? Who is? All the people I'm talking about are heterosexual on card, in the open. I'm still looking for those cash apps. Anybody in here? $5. That's all I'm asking for. $5 for the cash app. That's all I'm asking for. There's 11 people in here right now. Somebody's got $5 for me. Anybody got 10? Anybody got 20? I'm about to become an auctioneer. That's his personal belief, not his political. No, it's political. It's political. Any religious person of the Abrahamic religions, Christian, Muslim, disagrees with sex marriage. That doesn't mean politically we want it banned. Well, some people do. That's the thing. Jewish people and Muslim people want it banned. There are people that in that faction that do want the same-sex marriage and that act to be reversed, or law, I guess you can say. It's a law. They want it to be reversed. But I do, like I said, I agree with him on the gender-affirming care for minors. That shouldn't be. That should only be for adults. Because then, I was only a child. I was only a kid. I was going through a lot of things in my head. I don't want to be a woman anymore. So what happens? They don't talk about that in the media. Who are the switchbacks? Who says, you know what, 5 years from now, I'm going to be a man. Another 5 years after that, I'm going to be a woman. 5 years after that, I'm going to be a man. Who are those people? I want to meet those people. I want to greet, those people. Are there those people that go back and forth? Have a pole and a hole. Have a pole and a hole. They're just spending thousands of dollars to get a surgery, or is it irreversible? That's my question. Anybody have an answer? Please let me know. Did he call for it to be reversed? I didn't see that anywhere, but I will look in. No, he did not call. That's what I was saying. He did not put it politically. He did not have it reversed politically. He just is against it. He's just against that. Like you said, I agree with you saying that's his personal belief, Danchi. You're right. That's his personal belief. But let me see. Mainly his idea is he wants a bill that introduces and makes English the official language of the United States. That would be disastrous. We're the melting pot. We're supposed to be the melting pot. We have so many different languages that people that assimilate into and already use English as the de facto language anyway, as we speak. As I can't say any other words because I'm not proficient in any other language. I'm hardly proficient in English. I can barely speak English. So, I mean, to make that de facto, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. I say, oh, bummer comes back. To do what? He can't run for president. If you're talking about President Obama, he can't come back like that. Strongly disagree with not making English the main language. In order for society to function, people need something to assimilate to. Otherwise, we have no unity. So, I agree, Dancy. Yes. It should not. It's already de facto. We're speaking English right now. People that assimilate into the culture already know what time it is. The English need to learn to speak American. Exactly. Yes. Facts. I mean, there's so many people, like Robert was saying, but, American tourists, go to UK and step to a Briton and tell them in their face, speak English! Like, that's the chutzpah and the arrogance of a lot of Americans. Like, they'll go to, an English-speaking nation and tell them to, could you speak in English, please? Could you talk? And they're already speaking English. Like, they may have an accent and they have, a string of words that are common to the dialect of that particular region, but they're speaking English nonetheless. You only speak Chickney. What is Chickney? So I'm gonna let this bump. We're letting this bump. I'm in the double digits. It's just a little after the quarter after in my time here on the East Coast in the United States of America. At quarter after 12 in the afternoon. So I'm not mad. Chini. What is Chinese? Chinese? Chinese. I only speak Chinese. You're saying Chinese like in a derogatory form, sir? Like in the derogatory fashion, Rick James? Is that what you're saying? Because I know you're a global man. You traveled the world. I'm sure you probably went to China before. You've been all over this globe. You've been in different parts. But yeah, let me just go back to that point I was trying to make a few moments ago about wives and husbands, or wives and husbands and husbands. I can't deal with you no more. I can't deal with you. Can't deal with you anymore. You're going for Biden. How could you go for Biden? Biden is one of the worst examples of a politician ever to come out of the womb of politics. How could you vote for him? How could you even state that you're going to vote for him? Why would you put that sign out into the front yard that says Biden-Harris 2024? Why would you do that? I'm packing up my things. I'm taking the kids. I'm going over to my sister's house. We're separated. We're officially separated. Oh, I love how he says, "Oh, bummer." Biden didn't. Well, he wasn't in the seat of power. He couldn't do anything else except the missions, the initiatives, photo ops, and different things like that. You're mainly just guarding the ideas of the president, saying, "Yeah, I agree with him. I can't say that I'm against him. I can't say I'm against what he's saying. He has good points. Like that's all you can do as the vice president. But the president has executive powers. He doesn't have complete powers. Like with Roe v. Wade, Biden couldn't do a damn thing about it. Couldn't do anything about it. Couldn't do anything about Roe v. Wade being overturned. It took him a good, few months, and then, he addressed it. He said, if I'm president, we're going to make sure that Roe v. Wade is back. Come on. If they passed it and they said that it's going to be law, I mean, you can fight, you can demonstrate, you can be in the crowd, and you can do the electric slide while people are marching. What's going to happen in 2028? I'm just trying to figure out what happened in 2024, 25. Will it be Donald Trump Jr. versus Barron? Oh my God! Could you imagine? That'd be ridiculous. I'd love to hear who you would have wanted as a VP for Trump, and who would your ideal ticket for president and vice president. See, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too well versed on everybody. I know Tim Scott and Mark Rubio were the main ideas, and they were both they're both terrible. Everybody is horrible. Like they have no sense of reason, individualism, and capitalism. They have nothing. They have no clue. They're completely committed to mysticism, They're completely committed to collectivism, and they want altruism. So that's the whole story behind that. This is this disgusting record of politicians who have been inspired by Ayn Rand, who have been inspired by what she says, by all the thoughts she had, by her books, have been inspired, not adapt, integrate, and show, in your actions what her words stood for and stand for. So to you, Danchi, I'm just gonna bow out and say I didn't even know who JD Vance was until the name came up. I'm not too political like that. Only when I see evidence of something actually happening, that's when I go in and I go in and do my research and see what happens. So the only two people that come to mind are Tim Scott and Mark Rubio, and they're old. They're old heads, or at least older. They're in their 50s. And let me see, Tim Scott. They're in their 50s and almost damn near 60. He'll be 60 next year, Tim Scott. They get this millennial, 39 years old. Oh, we got the millennial vote. Uh-oh. We got the young people on tap. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Trump is old and needs a legacy, not more money. Okay. Love how you are shouting out Florida. We elect amazing people. Well, yeah, that's Mark Rubio. Yeah. Well, Mark Rubio has his own issues, but I don't know. I can look him up real quick. His politics. He wants to balance the federal budget and prioritize defense spending. I'm all about that. He opposes net neutrality. Good news. Okay, Mark Rubio, I see you. But not for the right reasons, I'm sure. I'm very skeptical about these politicians. I'm not like woo woo rah rah yeah yeah woo 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 rah, rah. I'm not that guy for politicians. I can't get behind their ideas, especially. And this is the other thing: the strengthening of the U.S. border. The border is fine. The people need to be that are governing or trying to say different ideas against the border or for a wall are what's destroying America, really. Please read. Okay, well, hold on. Okay, Florida is the best state in the union. I have to live there. I've visited Florida a few times. I don't know what it's like to live there, and the understanding. I love the fact that it's income tax free by the state. That's great. I love that. Please read 5 posts from above me. You missed the most about FM Trump. Okay. No, I got that. Trump is old and needs a legacy, not more money. Right? Is that the one? Is that the right one? Is that what you're talking about? Before that, okay. Actually, I'd love to hear who you would have wanted as VP for Trump. Also, would you that one? Is that the right one? Because I answered that one too. Mark Rubio or Tim Scott. One above that. Is that the one that you want? You want me to say who should be on the VP ticket? I like Rubio one. Yeah, I just Tim Scott would have just been a wild. That would have just been like, really? He's picking a Negro, a colored man, really? Like that would have threw everybody off. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what politics does. He was slathered all over him. I'm like, I love Trump. Trump is great. He's the greatest ever. You know, that was Tim Scott, like boo hugging Trump, hugging his manhood. Hopefully, I answered your question, Dancy. Repeat it, please. I may not have time. I can't. I'm scrolling up. I'm trying to find stuff on the internet. Just repeat it, Nancy, so I'll happily answer it. Robert Nacer saved all of y'all from $5 questions. All right. I like Rubio and was hoping for him, but being honest, all of them are bought and paid for. Absolutely. We need a president who doesn't care about money. Cannot be bought. Trump is old and wants legacy. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I read that. I said he's not that old. And it's not about being age. It's not your age. It's your competence. But what I disagree with is doesn't care about money. You have to care about money. Everybody has to care about money. It's what you do and how you do with your money that counts. That's the role of money. Because Trump isn't making that much money off of his presidencies anyway. He's actually, I think, losing more money being president. His salary, what is it? President's salary is like $400-something thousand, I think. Let me see. Yeah. It's about $400,000 a year. And in addition, expense allowance of $50,000 to assist in defraying expenses resulting to or relating to or resulting from the discharge of his duties. I think the next word is. Yeah, his official duties. Yeah. Yeah, he already has a legacy though. That's the thing. He has a legacy, you know, prior to being a president, being an ex-president. He was an ex-president, you know. He was a former president. Because there's always somebody in office that is the official president, and you have to differentiate. You can still call people that are former Mr. President, and that's fair because they earned the right, you know, to be called that, to give them that such a title. But that's the main draw about all this. So I appreciate everybody that's coming through. We're going. I got another 32 minutes left. And I still want to say, honey, you know, we've had our ups and downs. We've had our smiles and frowns. But you know what? This is the last frown. We can't be together because I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump. Trump is the man. Trump is that guy. He survived an assassination attempt. He pumped his fist in the air. He had Amber Rose spoke at the RNC. I'm going for Trump. Honey, I can't deal with this Trump guy anymore. We can't have the same nightmare all over again. We can't have the bleach injected into your skin. Oh, the virus will be over in the next few weeks. It'll be over by the summer. This is all what Trump said 2020. We had the worst attention span and the worst memory. We do not remember these things. The reason why we were like, Trump, get at it. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. Like, we really were like that with Trump. And Biden was just, well, we had, just saying, yeah, he was the vice president. I guess he's the president. But he's better than Trump. That's all we have left. That's all we have. That's all we have left to save our country. This mumbling, fumbling, freezing. Who's the guy that froze? I'm forgetting. My mind is crazy now. McConnell. Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell froze up. That's what Biden does in many moments. He just, and then he has that weird smile. He just completely like shuts down, like he's like a robot. The great Mr. Troy Star Terrain said, you know, he asked, is term limits. He asked if Biden was a hologram. Just wild ideas, but it's probably could be something, you know, that could be one day the truth. I mean, they already had the Tupac hologram come out on stage at what was that? Let me see. Goddamn. Coachella. At Coachella. So he's not far off. Let me see. Term limits for Congress ASAP. Maybe. Yeah, I can see that. Because Biden was in the Delaware senator seat for like, what, maybe 35, 40 years? Like these old people, not even old, just in their mind old. Just decrepit old people in their head, in their minds. Just terrible. This is sad. Maybe there should be term limits. And not, if not an age requirement, cognitive tests, official ones. They do that. They said, I've had a cognitive test every day. I'm getting better. Look, we're making America stronger. We're gonna keep going. We're totally committed to the American people and what we have to do. Like that's Biden. He's not fist pumping in the air. Like, you have to give credit where credit is due. Trump is a super marketer. Like, that's why it seems like, you know, I'm not going to say it was staged. That's too easy. But it was very fortunate for him to have the one, you know, fist in the air, and then have the American flag waving overhead. That was extraordinary. That was extraordinary. Okay, Nancy, now I'm gonna have to hit you. You see where the poll is, right? See where the poll is? Cash App, $SKYLERSAUNDERS1. Ask me, you know, if you want me to answer the question, you have to give me $5. $5 this time. I'll let you go for a little while, but I have to make some money. There's a whole money machine right now. This whole thing is all about money. I'll read the question. What are your thoughts on Charlie Kirk? Honestly, I never heard of Charlie Kirk. I'm now getting ready to learn a little bit about Charlie Kirk. I heard about what he made. Okay. But I'm not going to tell you what I think of him. You have to give me at least $5. If you can't do Cash App, I have PayPal and Venmo. I'm broke, boss. I've got a family to feed with Biden. I'm in the red monthly as it is. Okay. All right, so listen to this. I'm not going to press you for money, but just say statements, and I'll read your statements. But any question, I'll answer with money. But since you don't have any money, but I'll respond to the question, but I won't answer it. But I do ask anyone else with any funds to provide something. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Because we're having a party. I've never had this. This is the new time. It's the new schedule. I've never went up to 20. I had 20 people in here at one time. Mr. Nacer was kind enough to drop in a good chunk of money. Now I'm down to 140. If you know me, You know how much money I start out with every show. So I do appreciate that. Sincerely. But thank you for turning me on to this guy. No pun intended. He's got, oh, this guy's crazy. This guy's wild. This is a wild man. This is crazy. Oh yeah, and that's another thing I disliked about, if I didn't mention, I think I mentioned it already. But JD Vance. Oh, let me see. That's fair. Please read this. Sky has been open and awesome to speak with. He does this as a job, and I highly, endorse giving him a bit to him if you can. He is the man, and I appreciate him. Well, thank you, Danshi. Seriously. Mazel tov. Salute to you, sir. L'chaim. Oh, but this is great. But I think I briefly mentioned about JD Vance. JD Vance, okay, he has a distinction between helping out Ukraine. He doesn't want to help out Ukraine, as I saw it. Let me make 100% sure. He has opposed continued American military aid to Ukraine. That, I think, is almost right. It's almost right. We should only give weapons to Ukraine. We shouldn't give them money. I understand. I think maybe that's what he meant. But he says military aid. He didn't just say aid. But there should be, bombs and vehicles and missiles and stuff like that to help Ukraine fight Russia. That's how I feel. But yeah, so I think there are many couples across this country that have come to the conclusion like they're not gonna get together on politics. They're not gonna find themselves happy with the other person when it comes to politics or political issues. They understand. They see. She's a Biden supporter. She's always talking about Biden this and Biden that, and I'm for Trump, but we love each other, and they make it work. I don't know how in the world, and you can be in the same household as somebody that's completely different from you in terms of politics, but it's possible. Some people have the power to look past all the political nonsense and still have a romantic relationship with their husband or wife, and that's beautiful. I mean, there has to be. There's over 330 million people in the United States of America, and what are the how many are married? Maybe 200, 100 million, something like that. Or just have unions, like just have a union with a husband or a wife. And they may even joke about it. Like I said, they may even look at their spouse and be like, ha, what Trump, whatever, dump Trump. And they're like, Biden, if he can get up to the stand, if he can partially, maybe he needs a walker, that's the way I think most couples are if they have a difference. If you are here, please drop a like and subscribe. This man is great to listen to. I appreciate that, Danshi. Salute and respect. Thank you for that. So, that is what is so crucial about our political electorate, is that everything is positioned. There's political strategists. There's dozens of, scores of people They retracted the comment. Those are... I don't know. That I was like, maybe he took it down. I'll answer that question. Since that we're on some the same bullshit as each other. Why did my message disappear? I don't know. Maybe the monitors beyond me. I didn't take it down. I don't take down people's messages unless they're really flagrant and it could mess up the algorithm. But yeah, so I don't know, Dancy. I don't know. Hell, I'll go for it. Why not? Let me see. It's been a while. I'm engaging in self-promotion. Maybe I posted too much. Maybe that could be it. I don't know. But I disagree with that because you didn't have any, derogatory or inflammatory statements to say. So I can't call it, sir. But keep on writing. Keep on writing as much as you can. Don't be afraid. I'm not gonna block you. You're good money with me. Even though you don't have money with me. I'm messing with you. Yeah, so it's a lot of mixed fit. He's mixed. Like everybody else, like they're mixed. I don't it's just a matter of how much of a mixture there is of good and bad. That's all you have to do. Please read my message about BlackRock. Oh, I didn't see a message about BlackRock. Resend your message about BlackRock. I didn't see that. I didn't see that, sir. Let me know about the BlackRock one, and I'll address it. Hell, I'll give you free for today. Like I said, Mr. Robert Nacer came through. Like Mr. Rick James, he definitely came through too. So I will answer your questions now, and you won't have to pay. I'll give you that much. But I don't see a message about BlackRock. So read your message again. Excuse me for the shaking. Got my iPhone hooked up to the light, shaking a little bit. So we have a VP pick and James David Vance, United States Marine Corps corporal. That means he was an NCO, non-commissioned officer, in the United States Marine Corps. He was awarded the Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal and earned the Marine Corps Achievement Medal. Didn't go into too much detail, I don't think. Let me see. First veteran on presidential ticket since John McCain. That's facts. There used to be, almost an obvious way of going into the politics. You got to be in the military. Okay, so we got some ideas about Iran. Iran, he's like, JD Vance is saying he supports military action and against Iran after militias allegedly connected to Iran attacked U.S. troops. Vance said that it would be a mistake, sounding concerned it would be a significant escalation. After his nomination as Trump's running mate, Vance praised the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, adding, if we're going to punch the Iranians, punch them hard. Okay, moment for that. That wasn't that hard of a punch. That was a good jab in the grand scheme of things. It was just one general, just one, incident. We need to take out the entire regime of Iran. Everybody involved. With as few casualties on the American side, and try not to kill as many innocents, quote unquote, or people that are citizens of Iran. I just received a $5 vocal bonus. That's on my vocal.media. Go to vocal.media and search Skyler Saunders, and you'll get my various stories. Let me put that up there. I'm doing this. Hold on. I'm still in the game. I'm just making sure something. Okay, now I gotta go through this dog and pony show. Okay. Please see message above. Okay. You gotta repost it, my friend. Repost it and I'll address it. I will address it no matter what. So, okay. Like I said, I've never been married. I may never get married. But if my wife, if she is a Trump supporter or if she's a Biden supporter, I'm still going to love her for her values, for the virtues she extols. That's a fact. Rick James says, do you think the end of the world is near? Well, Here's a little something that I learned about Ayn Rand, from Ayn Rand. She knew a poem, I think it was called The Westerners. I'm going to look it up. The Westerners. By Badger Clark. Here's an excerpt. It says, "For the sun wheels swift from morn to morn, and the world began when I was born, and the world is mine to win." So I think that the world ends when you die. That's it. This is a fact. That's when the world comes to an end, when you die. So I was just checking for one question, but yeah. So all the couples, all the different, you know, romantically involved men and women in this world. I just hope that politics doesn't come between you viciously. Like if you're hitting each other, you're yelling at each other, you're scaring the kids over things that aren't really your business, that aren't really your. I mean, it's your business, but it's not like you have control over what happens. Sadly, you don't. It's cute to say, "Oh, well, you know, go to the poll," or excuse me, go to the no, I didn't see it. Just post it, sir. Just post it. You might have to use special characters. You might have to use, you know, space between the words. If you space between the words, it can't detect it. But it's a good amount. It's a good amount of couples, I'm sure, that are out there, and they're, you know, having a tough time, you know, going back and forth at each other and screaming and yelling, and it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way at all. So I wouldn't want that to happen. I wouldn't want that to happen. You know, have us fight over our personal differences. Something that may happen. Not even adultery or something like that, but just like, just a discussion, just a disagreement within, you know, over money in the house, you know. But what is that? What do you look for? You look for politicians to say, "Oh, well, I'm going to work on, you know, I'm going to work on inflation, and I'm going to work on the budget. I'm going to work on the financial side of things." My girlfriend is coding. He meant voting. Biden. See, I'm sure. Rick James, are you voting for Biden? Are you voting for Biden, sir? That's all I want to know. Oh, you voted third party? Is that RFK Jr.? Is that the third party is? We both agreed and would have voted for Sanders. Wow. I see. I would definitely think if Trump is a dumpster fire, Sanders is a like fallout from a nuclear, you know, explosion. Like it's a different kind of setting. To be socialist, to be, what does he call them? Oh, god damn it. Democratic socialist. Democratic socialist, like the key word is socialist, but Democrat isn't so good either. Democratic socialism is defined as having a socialist economy in which the means of production are socially and collectively owned or controlled alongside a democratic political system of government. Democratic socialists reject most self-described social states which followed Marxism-Leninism. So it's a far left, way wacky, batty, super crazy, kind of understanding. Okay, so you're going for Kennedy. Okay, why are you going for RFK Jr.? What is it about him that appeals to you most? What is it about him? I'm black from posting about black. Okay, Dancy, listen to me. If you want to ask the question or you want to make the post, space out the letters. They can't do anything if you space out the letters. I can't demonstrate it because I'm not behind a MacBook where my show is. But just space out the letters. That should help. But they need to be stopped from buying single-family homes. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Kennedy still has a brain. Well, it's funny that you should mention that because his brain has been eaten away in some places allegedly by some kind of worm, some kind of flesh-eating worm. So you can say after all you want to, but I don't think it has major ideas for that. Okay, I'm going to do some self-promotion in these last 3 minutes. Go to vocal.media and search Skyler Saunders, SKYLER space SAUNDERS. Make sure you space it out. Check some of my stuff. It goes to a page where it has my other old posts. But just go to my profile and look at those different stories and articles. I appreciate it. Thank you. Drop a line, drop a pledge, subscribe, drop a a tip. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you for that. He's smarter than the two other buttons, but he corrected himself and said buffoons. I couldn't disagree more. I mean, I don't think he's that smart. I don't think he's that coherent or even within reality. This is an age thing. See, he's middle aged. He's like 60 something, 70 something. He's not even 70 maybe. Okay. He's 70, so he's younger than both of them. But I think he has some of the worst ideas ever. He's all about the environment. He's all about different things like that. He wants economic equality, which is bullshit. He expressed his support for Elizabeth Warren, who is evil like President Obama. So, but look, I appreciate this. I want to run for this for 2 hours. It's been just about that much. So I appreciate everybody that came through. Thank you for your donation, Mr. Robert Naser. Thank you very much, Mr. Rick James. Thank you very much for Mr. Danchi. I appreciate everybody that came in through. If I didn't mention your name, thank you for coming through anyway. And I will see you sometime tomorrow. It was a hell of a show. Hell of a show. Thank you.